2 rows. Why is Sychar? That's it is very important. Yes, to that Jesus had to stop there. One, it was the path too close to where Jacob had built a well that he handed over to Joseph. Don't forget, Joseph gave birth to 2 sons. One was Ephraim, and the second was Manasseh. And don't forget, Jeroboam was from the tribe of Ephraim. Are we together? So, what I want to point out is that Jesus had to go back to a place where both the Jews and the Gentiles had a common ground. How? Jacob, Jacob is the father of Israel, made up of 12 tribes. And so, in these 12 tribes, Judah, the 4th son, and let's say Joseph, the 11th son, they are descendants. So why the scepter would not leave Judah and kept having descendants to rule? In the other hand, Joseph also from Ephraim, like through his seed Ephraim, came Jeroboam. So you could see that the contention was more like between Judah and Joseph. Okay, that's so the balance they had was the lineage where they came from, the bosom of Jacob. So now the well of Jacob had a lot of significance. But first of all, who is this man called Jacob? So we'll do a very quick run through. I have certain write-ups to help me make up time. The name, when you hear the name Jacob, there's one thing that comes to your mind. That bad guy that told his brother to give him his birthright and gave his brother pottage or porridge, whichever one. Yes, I'm very sure that's one clicking to him. He's still the same person who tricked his father by the help of his mother to gain the blessing that the father wanted to give. So he's the twin brother of Esau. Then don't forget he's a shepherd. And I prefer saying animal husbandry engineer, who today we might call a genetics engineer, because when Laban started dealing with him, he had to show Laban that it was wise and did some kind of very funny connection, and all the animals started becoming, every new animal that came out became spotted, and they had agreement that he would take the spotted or that guy or something else. Only God knew how he upgraded that guy's IQ. But these are certain things when you hear the name Jacob, it's that hits your head. He was also the person whose wages was changed 10 times by Laban. That's the same person. He was the one who was tricked into marrying a woman he did not want to marry after serving his uncle for 7 years. Laban tricked him and made him marry Leah, the older sister of Rachel, and then he had to serve another 7 years. That guy was dedicated to get his heart desire, Rachel. Okay, another thing we know about this guy called Jacob. Jacob, I prefer it this way, is the founder of Bethel. Don't forget, very soon we'll come across the scripture that spoke of Bethel, how Jacob named the place Bethel. It was originally used L-U-Z. But when he got there, while he was running from Esau, and God showed up in his dream, when he woke up the next morning, he built an altar, poured oil, and said, if you allow me go and return, I'll return back here. And so it was named Bethel. So he's the founder of the place. So as we get return back to Bethel, that's the man. Okay. And then another thing, he's the pioneer of midnight prayer. Remember, the Bible spoke of Abraham as one who would always wake up early and go for prayers early in the morning. Then you remember when he got to Isaac's turn, Isaac wasn't the early morning guy. Isaac was more of the afternoon guy, and that's how he was praying and meditating when his wife Rebecca was being brought by Eliezer, his father's servant. Okay, so why Abraham was the morning praying guy, Isaac was the afternoon praying guy. This guy called Jacob, when it was almost time for him to take off back, when God had told him to return back, after sending his family into 2 different paths to go, he stayed before the Lord and then he pressed. That's how midnight prayer started. And he was still the guy who fought with an angel from that night till the next morning. And the angel was like, Benny, let me go. It's already morning. Benny, let me go. He said, I will not let you go unless you bless me. And then the angel said, who are you? He said, I am Jacob. Don't forget, not actually the meaning, but Jacob implies supplanter, somebody who is coming. And then he said to him, from today you are no longer Jacob, but you are Israel. You are a prince who has prevailed with God and has prevailed with man. And so from the man called Jacob came forth Israel as a nation. So a man who had so much capacity to change individually from an individual into a nation. Now, this is what I want to point out as I wrap up this particular part. It says he named the place Bethel, which was originally Luz. So Bethel in summary is God's own house, returning back to God's own house. You will see that in Genesis 28, 18 to 22. But this is where the contention, the conflict starts. After he left, the guy called Jeroboam, in the book of Kings, I think that's 1 Kings 12, from 26, he had become king, and that same guy turned Bethel into the home of idols. So as we get to the next video, we'll get more insights on that.